Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting.
All right, welcome back. Today I'll be shooting two targets again, and I'll be running two different tests. We talk about load development, and there are a couple of different methods to find your best loads. One is going to be a ladder test, and that'll be the first target that we shoot. And in that, we'll be shooting 55 grain full metal jacket bullets with H335 powder, and we'll be shooting between 23 and 26 grains in charge weight for that powder. We'll be shooting at 100 yards, and we have splits for 23, 23.8, 23.5, 25.3, and 26 grains. And we're going to check to see if there's a load in there that groups pretty well. After that, we'll be shooting the top-down load development method, in which we take the maximum charge weight, we move the decimal point 2 points over, and we subtract that from the maximum charge weight, and that becomes the next charge down. Then we subtract that number again, and again. And so we'll only be shooting about a 1 grain difference. We'll be shooting between 25 and 26 grains on that second target. But anyway, let's get started. Let's go ahead and send these down, shooting at 100 yards. As always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results at the end. And remember, this time we'll be shooting two different targets, so it'll be a little bit further to skip down to the results. All right, so let's get started. All right, so this was kind of a mixed bag, so let's bring them in and have a look. So this was the barrel fouling group. These stream horizontally, and this was shot with 25.1 grains of CFE 223 and a 73 grain ELD match bullet. When I switched over to the H335 and the 55 grain full metal jackets, these shot extremely low. This one and this one, I believe that was my first shot. Then I shot a couple here, then this one down here, then another up here. So I adjusted the scope 2 clicks up. I shot this group. I adjusted it 2 more clicks up and shot this group. I adjusted it 2 more clicks up and shot this group. Right here in the middle at 24.5 was my tightest grouping. This, I believe, is probably just under an inch, and this is right at an inch with a pretty tight 4 out of 5 right there. And then following that, the groups began to open up again. So the next target that I'm going to shoot has between 25 and 26 grains, broken down in 2 and 3/10 grain increments between the two. So the 26 did not shoot very well. That's the maximum charge weight for this bullet. And one of those primers looked to be sort of flattened out. This is from the Lyman manual. The Hornady manual shows a lighter charge weight here for this. So we'll put the second target up here, send them down, and see how they perform. All right, so this is my next target, and this is a load development based on a top down, going from the maximum charge weight, stepping down. We start at 26, and then we go down 0.26, then another 0.26, 0.26, and 0.26. So we'll be shooting from 25 to 26 grains of powder with 0.2 and 0.3 grain steps in between each of those. Shooting at 100 yards. And as always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results. All right, let's bring them in and see how we did. All right, it looks like all of these are fairly scattered. I don't have any really tight groups. This was probably my best right here at 25 and a half. I shot 3 right here that are touching. I know for a fact that I pulled this one and this one, so this may very well be the best group of this bunch. Odd how at 26 grains, the first target grouped pretty well. The second target was really scattered. So anyway, we will take these home, measure them, and see how they compare. All right. Here are my results from the range testing H335 powder with 55 grain full metal jacket bullets, testing 2 different load development methods, step down from max and the ladder test method. First, I'll show you the step down from max method, which did not go very well. The maximum load for this particular round was 26 grains of powder. And so what we did is we stepped down from that to 25, 25.2, 25.5, 25.7, and 26 grains. And none of these really performed that well. At 25 grains, and you'll see I didn't even mark the best 4 out of 5 on these because none of these were that impressive. In fact, every one of these shot over an inch. The closest I had was 1.12 inches. but we had at 25 grains groups of 177 and 140, which averaged 1.59. At 25.2 grains, we had groups of 124 and 120. At 25.5 grains, we had 123 and 203. At 25.7 grains, we had groups of 163 and 181. And at 26 grains, we had groups of 112 and 152. So my thinking is that maybe this particular powder just doesn't like the 55 grain full metal jacket bullets. So moving to the ladder test method, the maximum charge weight for this bullet was 26 grains and the minimum charge weight was 23 grains. So at 23 grains, we had groups of 274 and 151. This was my first shot on that target, and it was way off. It was probably a good 3 inches below the point of aim. So I took those first 5 shots, and again at group 274, I adjusted the scope 2 clicks up for my second target and shot just over 1.5 at 151. Then we went to 23.8 grains and had groups of 151 and 167, which was very similar to the prior group here of 151. At 24.5 grains, this happened to be the best load that we had, which was 0.69 and 104, and the best 4 out of 5 was 0.44 and 0.71. So that averaged an extreme spread of 0.87 and the best 4 out of 5 at 0.61, and that gave us a score of 74. So that might be an area where we can develop. But basically, I'm thinking what we need is a heavier bullet for this particular load. At 25.3 grains, we had groups of 1.5 and 1.62. And at 26 grains, we had groups of 155 and 1.18. So our best group was 24.5 grains, and we had groups of 0.69 and 1.04. So that was the closest I got to an inch all day with these. I think what we really need here, though, is a heavier bullet for this particular powder. And so we will test this powder with a heavier bullet, and we will see how that performs. So in this case, neither the ladder test nor the step down from max charge weight gave us the results that we were looking for. So this kind of says to me that maybe we need to look elsewhere, maybe a different powder and a different bullet weight combination. So there you go. So if you have any ideas or thoughts about this video, please feel free to leave a comment below. Or if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, please let me know that. I always try to interact with everyone who comments. And I hope that you will like and share this with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.